Cliff Richard, born Harry Roger Webb on October 14, 1940, in Lucknow, British India, had a remarkable start in life. His family moved back to England in 1948, after India gained independence. Growing up in a modest household in Cheshunt, Hertfordshire, the Webbs faced financial struggles, but young Harry's love for music was a constant. Influenced by American rock and roll icons like Elvis Presley, Little Richard, and Buddy Holly, Harry, later known as Cliff Richard, was inspired to follow in their footsteps. His passion for music led to the formation of a band, the Drifters, later renamed the Shadows, and they quickly became pioneers of the British rock scene. Cliff's stage presence, good looks, and dynamic energy helped him quickly capture the attention of fans, solidifying his place as Britain's first true rock star. The birth of Little Miss Dynamite, Cliff Richard's early years. Cliff Richard's entry into the music industry was nothing short of groundbreaking. His debut single, Move It, is often credited as the first authentic British rock and roll record. Released in 1958, the song hit number 2 on the UK singles chart and marked the arrival of a new sound in Britain. Cliff's style, which blended youthful energy with a guitar-driven rock sound, made him the perfect counterpart to the American rockers who had inspired him. Though still a teenager, Cliff's brooding good looks and raw talent made him the face of teenage rebellion in post-war Britain. As he began to rise to fame, he not only transformed the music scene, but also became a cultural icon for a generation eager for something new. His early successes, including Living Doll and The Young Ones, were just the beginning of an enduring career. Cliff Richard's evolution in the 1960s, rock star to movie star. Throughout the 1960s, Cliff Richard didn't just remain a musical sensation. He expanded his career into acting as well. His films, such as Summer Holiday and Bachelor Boy, showcased his charm and made him a household name. These musical comedies solidified his image as Britain's answer to American rock stars. However, as the 1960s progressed and the Beatles led the British invasion, Cliff Richard faced the challenge of staying relevant in an ever-changing musical landscape. Rather than being swept away by the winds of change, he adapted and evolved. He transformed from a teen idol into a mature artist, taking on new sounds and themes, keeping his place in the music industry while expanding his artistic range. Adapting to new sounds, Cliff Richard's 1970s reinvention. The 1970s were a time of musical experimentation for Cliff Richard. He embraced new styles and sounds, including disco, synth pop, and rock, as he navigated the changing landscape of music. Songs like Devil Woman, We Don't Talk Anymore, and Wired for Sound demonstrated his willingness to step outside his original pop persona and explore more mature, contemporary material. His ability to adapt and stay ahead of trends while maintaining his distinct voice allowed him to remain relevant to both older and newer generations of fans. His maturity as an artist in the 1970s marked a turning point in his career, cementing his place as a versatile performer. With his enduring charm and unique sound, Cliff continued to captivate audiences, proving his staying power. Faith, family, and career. Cliff Richard's personal life. Cliff Richard's spiritual journey is just as integral to his identity as his music. A devout Christian, Cliff became deeply committed to his faith in the 1960s, and it significantly influenced both his personal and professional life. He consistently refused to compromise his beliefs, choosing to cultivate a clean, wholesome image and avoid the wild partying lifestyle, often associated with celebrity. His decision to remain unmarried, despite having long-term romantic relationships, further reinforced his commitment to his faith and values. Cliff's personal life, including his decision to stay away from the tabloid spotlight, has often been the subject of public curiosity, but he has always handled the scrutiny with grace and dignity. His devotion to his family and his faith remains a central part of his life. Cliff Richard, a global superstar. Cliff Richard's fame was not limited to the UK. His appeal transcended borders, earning him devoted fan bases in countries like Australia, South Africa, and across Europe. With more than 250 million records sold worldwide, he became one of the best-selling music artists of all time. His career spanned multiple decades, and he achieved unprecedented success in the UK, holding the unique distinction of having #1 singles in 5 consecutive decades. His contributions to British music and culture were officially recognized when he was knighted in 1995, becoming the first rock star to receive such an honor. His charity work, including efforts to raise awareness for HIV/AIDS and children's welfare, added to his legacy as an artist committed to making a difference, both on and off the stage. A family man in the spotlight, the emotional cost of fame. Behind the scenes, Cliff Richard faced emotional challenges that were not always visible to his fans. One of the most significant events in his early life was the death of his father, Roger Webb, in 1961, when Cliff was just 21 years old. At the time, Cliff was just beginning his rise to stardom, and his father's death deeply affected him. Cliff later expressed sadness that his father never lived to see his immense success, and he felt a profound sense of responsibility toward his mother and sisters. This responsibility shaped many of his decisions, particularly regarding relationships. Throughout his life, Cliff remained the caretaker for his family, a role he accepted with unwavering devotion. His mother, Dorothy Webb, battled Alzheimer's disease in her later years, and watching her decline was a painful experience that Cliff shared openly in interviews. Despite the pressures of fame, his family remained his priority. Cliff Richard's romantic struggles, the personal sacrifices of fame. Cliff Richard's personal life, particularly his romantic relationships, have often been a topic of public interest. His decision to remain unmarried and child-free was not due to a lack of desire for love, but rather the sacrifices he made for his career and family. One poignant example came in the form of a letter he wrote to his first serious girlfriend, Dalea Wicks, in 1961. Cliff explained in heartbreaking detail how he had to choose his career over their relationship. He recognized that being a pop singer meant giving up the possibility of a lasting relationship, a sacrifice that weighed heavily on him. Over the years, Cliff's relationships with other women, such as his brief romance with actress Una Stubbs and his later connection with tennis star Sue Barker, were deeply publicized. Yet, despite his feelings, he never fully committed, citing his devotion to his career and family as the primary reasons. Cliff Richard's deep admiration for Elvis Presley. For decades, fans have speculated about the depth of Cliff Richard's admiration for Elvis Presley, a sentiment that Cliff himself had kept relatively private for many years. However, in recent years, Cliff has openly discussed the profound influence Elvis had on his life. "I was mesmerized," Cliff admitted, recalling the first time he heard Elvis sing. It was a moment that ignited something within him. As a teenager growing up in post-war England, Elvis's voice and presence left an indelible mark on Cliff, inspiring him to pursue a career in music. Cliff acknowledged that Elvis was his hero, not just for his musical talents, but also for the way he lived his life. "I wanted to be on stage. I wanted to make people feel what Elvis made me feel," he said, revealing how much of his own career was shaped by the king of rock and roll. Cliff Richard's regret: never meeting Elvis Presley. Despite his deep admiration for Elvis, Cliff Richard never had the chance to meet the legendary performer. In a rare emotional moment, Cliff confessed that he had come close to meeting Elvis once, but the opportunity never materialized. "It was like losing a brother I'd never met," Cliff said, describing the emotional toll Elvis's death in 1977 took on him. The loss of the man who had unknowingly guided Cliff's musical journey was a painful blow. Elvis, Cliff noted, was not just a musical icon, but also a deeply spiritual man. something that resonated with Cliff. Both men shared a strong Christian faith, though they expressed it in different ways. Cliff's tribute to Elvis serves as a moving reflection of their shared connection through music and spirituality. A spiritual tribute. Cliff, Richard honors Elvis Presley. In reflecting on Elvis Presley's legacy, Cliff Richard spoke with great admiration for the human being behind the legend. People remember the hips and the hair and the voice, but he was also deeply spiritual, Cliff noted. He described Elvis as someone who searched for deeper meaning in life, a sentiment that Cliff himself has always connected with. The connection between Cliff and Elvis goes beyond music. It's rooted in a shared spiritual journey. Cliff's tribute to Elvis is more than just an acknowledgement of his musical influence. It's a reminder that even the greatest stars are shaped by their beliefs, and that Elvis, like Cliff, was someone whose journey was marked by both artistic greatness and personal introspection.